This is Inside Outlands. I am your host, Nat Ryle, and joining me today is Aya of Bloodclan and Kil'gu of Boulderfist. We are here for Orc Part 2. How you guys doing?
Out there. Doing fine.
Doing really well, thank you.
So we got two clans. The other interview was with New Rule, and he was with Bloodrock clan, I believe. So what separates the two clans? What's the differences? Why are there three clans? I guess is my first question.
Aya, you want to take it first, since you're the original clan?
Three clans. We all come from different backgrounds. I know Urk, the Bloodrock. They started off way back when on production shards, and Shadow Clan on a different shard as well. Blood Clan came a little afterwards on excuse me, IPY. The first one I believe was in 2003. Boulderfist. I'm actually anxious to hear their history because I don't honestly know it.
Well, we started off on Divinity 2.0 back in 2007. Former member of Shadow Clan and myself, we didn't see any orcs left on the server, so we decided that we would take up the mantle and remind all the Umis in the land that they're still not safe, and neither are their shoes.
Nice. Neither are their shoes? You guys steal their shoes?
Oh, it's the one thing you can't kill somebody for is their newbie shoes. We try to take that as tribute whenever we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, having to give it to you forcefully when you can.
I always liked that. I followed you guys a little bit on, I believe it was IPY2, and I always thought that was a funny part of your role play is that you ask for their shoes as their tribute. So I always thought it was very unique.
Yeah, on IPY2 we had chests full of shoes.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Do you have a chest full of shoes here already, or?
We have a few shoes littered throughout the house.
So, who is the oldest clan then? So, Aya, you said 2007. No, 2007 is Boulderfist. When did you guys form, Aya?
We formed in 2003. I guess between Shadow Clan and Bloodrock would be the oldest ones that I'm aware of.
Okay, yeah, we don't have Shadow here. Are there just no leaders really out in the active UO community, or are they on another shard?
I don't believe they're anywhere right now. They're kind of fragmented, burnt out.
Yeah, I haven't seen them on anything in quite a few years, actually. They were on a free server, I want to say about 5-6 years ago, and that was the last I have seen them.
So what are some other things that separate you guys? What makes your clan unique? Or what's the flavor you bring? Or what's your focus, I guess? Either one, you can field that first.
Sure. I guess Boulderfist has always been a lot more into the PvP side of it. We take heads first, then res you, and then roleplay with you. We find that a lot of times if we stop to roleplay, we either get told some nasty things or the person just recalls out. That doesn't make for a great experience. But once you kill them and then res them, they're kind of in a position to roleplay better with you.
So you think Boulderfist has more of a PvP first focus then?
Yeah, we try to do as many PvP focused events as we can versus like dungeon crawls and such like that. Most of us are red. There's a few gatherers out there and a few crafters that are blue. But for the most part, we're an entirely red guild. Try to murder anyone we see basically in our lands.
Do you have any restrictions that I know usually you guys have various things that orcs can't use and wield. Is there anything you that holds you back from succeeding in PvP, I guess?
Yeah, I guess our biggest restriction is armor. So we can only use ringmail armor or leather and studded leather. The only plate that we can use is the gorget and the plate arms. Okay,
yeah, it's really similar to Bloodrock. And Aya, what about your clan?
We're basically the same. We can do like a plate gorget. I think arms. Usually that's reserved for the higher ranking orcs. War bosses and things like that. It's kind of more ceremonial than anything, but usually we stick to the basic ring mail. We restrict no katanas. That we always considered that an umi weapon. Same with a halberd. Those things of that nature. So
Yeah, that's the thing every PvPer uses is a katana and a halberd. And it's the same here on Outlands. So just you guys not using that alone will kind of separate you out a little bit.
Sure, yeah. It we still do pretty well for ourselves, and that's part of what makes being an orc. Being an orc, you grab a weapon and you start trying to clomp, and we go from there.
So I do you guys focus on PvP first too, or are you an RP first guild or clan? I should say clan.
It really depends on the situation. If we're out raiding and we're running through dungeons, and we're not role playing right away. We'll attack you. We'll role play with you. If we find someone that wants to role play, we'll get into it. But sometimes we're just out for blood. We come from hybrid, which is we spent most of our time on there, and there's no stat loss there. So you just res up, and you can BS around, and you can talk trash to people and all that stuff. And there was no stat loss or resurrection penalty. So we kind of got used to that. So now we've changed it a little bit, and we'll when we raid, we'll take heads and talk later, or depending on the company that we run into.
So I've heard some different clans ride Ostards. Which clan is that? I know it's not Bloodrock. So is it Boulderfist or Bloodclan?
Yes, Boulderfist here will ride Ostards. Not horses, mares, or llamas, or anything else, until they put in some bolas, or we can talk about some stat loss reductions. We just can't be an effective PvP force without any mounts. We tried it. Yeah. You get wiped out. No one's having any fun. You're paying like 3K per res. Our events, though, are mountless.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to focus on the areas of the game that don't have mounts, I guess, if you want to push it. So you could go dungeons. There are certain PvP events that are mountless, but then there's plenty of others that are. And of course, all of the open world. So definitely at a disadvantage on Outlands without it.
At the moment, we don't allow mounts other than for our crafters. We've always allowed the crafters to mount up. In other servers, they had the beetles that you could throw stuff on, and that was helpful. But we that's our restriction at the moment.
So you put your things on your food. And you and Kil'gu, you ride your food?
Yeah, we tenderize it a bit first.
You can't eat Ostard. It's too tough.
Yeah.
We also name all of our Ostards bolas.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about bolas with Nerul. I don't know that Outlands has any plans to add it. I'm assuming they probably looked at it and maybe decided against it for PvP reasons. But if that's a big part of all of the orcs RP, I would love to see some version of it get here, even if it's not a PvP benefit. They find some way to bring it here.
It would definitely be a welcome addition.
Yeah, I could get a lot of orcs coming back and playing if we had bolas.
Yeah, I don't know what that would entail to get it here. I'm not a game designer, but I'm sure Luthien can come up with something. I've got 2 podcasts now that make the case for it, so maybe we'll get him moving on it.
Yeah, and we're used to playing on servers that didn't have mounts at all. Encore, both editions, Relpor, IPY. So we used to love setting up roadblocks, hiding up, putting some shinies on the floor, getting people to stop, take a look. But here, that's not really feasible because people are just on mounts. We pop out and they're off screen before we can cast a spell.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Anytime you have a mount in a game, that sets the speed of PvP, really, and PvE, everything. So you're either on the mount or you're not. So you're always going to be at the fastest speed possible. So why not just not have the mount and then everyone's at the same speed? And Outlands, oddly enough, tried to cater to both PvP crowds. I think there are huge PvP crowds that like mountless PvP and all that brings, and they have mounted PvP. So they just try to cater to both. So instead you have a world that has spots you can mount up and spots you can't. And that's definitely going to limit where you guys can succeed either on mounts or off.
Absolutely. And we actually have noticed that, and it's interesting that they have the factions where they have mounted versus mountless skirmishes and things like that. So that's stuff that hopefully we can look into.
Yeah. So have you all noticed any kind of unusual influx of old orcs and old friends that you're kind of gathering and bringing it back into the fold, and faces you haven't seen in a long time? You have any stories of just reconnecting with old friends? Because you guys have been around a long time, it sounds like.
Yeah, we had quite a few people join maybe a month into the shard. Honestly, like I said, we've been on so many shards, kind of burnt out. At our peak, we had maybe like 40 active members, and kind of whittled down every time we moved shards because they would only last for a few months. So when this shard came out, everybody was a little weary. They wanted to see how it would go, if it was going to get DDoSed like the other launches would. They wanted to see if this was a stable shard. Then once, we started getting people actually playing here and rediscovering the world again, like it was, 1998 again, learning everything from scratch, word of mouth spread, and a lot of the old orcs came in. Like, how'd you hear about this? Oh, I read up about this, or I heard a podcast about this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm solely the one recruiter.
Yeah. As far as our members are concerned, we have a lot of people in Discord, and one of our founders had come back and invited a lot of old orcs and undead. We've always been, the Bloodclan's always been pretty allied closely with the undead guilds that we've been on shards with. So we have a lot of them in our Discord, and we, initially before Outlands came out, we were going to lean towards going to Legends of Aria, and we had a lot of people playing the beta in that, and that's kind of where we were heading as a clan. And we had some old guys come back, Kil'gu, who's he's like our shard lead right now. Kind of wanted to start a stone up, and we let him go ahead and start a stone, and brought the Bloodclan to Outlands.
Yeah, I briefly tried Legends of Aria. I got it in beta. I was there at launch. It kind of was out right at the same time that Outlands was launching. Maybe a month or two delayed. I think Outlands was actually here about 2 months before Aria was out with its no wipe. And frankly, there's just so much more content here on Outlands. That's where I ended up staying. But, it's a modern game. It would be interesting to see you guys pull your orc antics in a game like Aria. I would actually like to see that. But I think there's a reason why Outlands is succeeding. Owen and Luthus are doing pretty incredible things for UO. So I'm not surprised to see, both you guys come back here and then see your ranks just swell too, as people to start returning to this old ass game.
Well, that's certainly the hope.
This is the most amount of orcs I've seen on any server since maybe IPY1.
Yeah, you're hard to ignore now. It's taken you guys a little while to get rolling, and to get established here on the shard. But I think you're definitely a presence here, as well as the rest of the RP. I think all of you guys are doing really interesting stuff here on the shard.
Yeah, we just had Drow, I believe is how you say it, DROW, startup, allied with us as well. I believe Boulderfist is allied actually with all of the orc clans.
Yeah, so you're allied, but that doesn't mean you're not against fighting them, right? So you will fight the other clans if it's either with RP regions or it just means you're friendly.
We're actually hued green to each other.
Oh, okay. So you're not there's no currently infighting amongst the orcs, at least not at the moment.
No, not until the chicken starts to run low.
Yeah.
Then all bets are off.
It's my bok.
Are you all engaging with any of the content here, like the fashion systems or bosses or anything like that, or are you kind of making your own events, your own PvP, PvE function?
We're trying to do some bosses. It's currently hard with one other unnamed guild trying to dominate it a bit, but I think if we can, get a sizable portion of the orcs together, we could hold down a boss without any issue.
Yeah, that would be a pretty unique sight, I think, if you guys were to pull that off. Maybe have Boulderfist do the PvP protection ring. I don't know. That'd be awesome to see, though.
Right now, I think we're just kind of building our foundation, and hopefully soon when that's built, we'll invite more of the old guys back and go from there. As far as the custom content and things like that, we'd like to get into more for sure.
So what are some of the challenges you guys face? Not just role playing, but being an orc in Ultimate Online and the things you have to overcome with that play style.
A lot of the times, the humans can't understand us. There's a lot more emoting since they don't speak our language to try to get our point across. Sometimes they just look at you like, oh, what's this role-playing nerd doing? It's like, well, we're both playing an Ultima Online game, 21-year-old game. What are you doing?
Right.
There's still that little stigma of role players hanging about, but it's dying out.
Yeah, I mean, communication's obviously a big one. And I think, all the clans in general have kind of eased up on their language just to so other people can understand them. I mean, if we went in and did the whole, black speech thing to everybody, they'd really be like, what the heck's going on? So I throw a pansy in or something here and there and then get my point across.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of broken English, leaving letters off or butchering words that you can kind of understand. And once you get the gist of what they're saying, and mixed in with that would be a couple words here or there. I don't know that all three of your clan's requirements are exactly the same. I do know you all have different languages, which is pretty unique. Do you all know the origins of your language and maybe why it's different from the other clans?
Boulderfist kind of, since we were a mix of different orc role players, I played with Shadow Clan on Siege Perilous. Some other members came from other orc clans. We kind of melded it together and made it a little more understandable to the local populace. As Aya said, sometimes they just don't understand if we spoke full Orcish to them.
Yeah, we, as a clan, a lot of our founders pulled from different clans from all over, and they, you kind of come up with your own language. We went off black speech, like Lord of the Rings type stuff, and there's all kinds of, places that, if you search online that have little things and they argue over, what the word fire means or whatever. And, but we kind of adopted some of that and changed it and made it our own. So.
Yeah, it sounds like you're either on a different shard or in the same shard, but you're in your own groups. You're just going to kind of formulate your own story, and part of your own story is the language you speak.
Absolutely. I mean, I can get in and be in a party with some of the other clans, and I can, for the most part, get through it. Some of when they get into their more formal language, sometimes I have a little trouble understanding, and they can't understand me either. I think our numbers are even a little different. So, but it all makes it a little different and a little more fun that way.
Yeah, I saw Bloodrock Clan. You could count to 100, and I was thinking, man, what kind of freaking orc can count to 100? I guess there's probably one smart orc out there that can. I don't know.
Most orcs can only count to how many fingers they have, which is usually 8.
Right. So let's say you each get a new recruit. I know we've talked about bringing old players back and vets, but Outlands is a popular shard, and you got people like me checking the game out for the first time. You have players that are willing to make another character and maybe see what the orc life is like. And if they decide one of your clans is a good fit for them after talking to you, what would they expect? What would they go through?
Yeah, you have any?
Sure. Yeah, usually with us, if someone wants to join us, and we actually just had someone in the past couple of weeks that just joined us, we direct them to our website. And have them fill out an application. The reason we do that is so we can track their length of time with the clan, and it kind of sets up our history a little bit. And then there's some basic things like counting a few numbers, and we do an inspection at that time when they actually make their orc. And our website has all the instructions on how to make an orc and what color skin and what names are acceptable, things like that. And then we'll do an inspection in game and make sure that's all looking good, and then sometimes we'll put them through a boot camp and just kind of start having fun.
Yeah, our similar process here. Show them the website. It has the links on how to speak basic Orcish, what armor you're allowed to wear, what arms you're allowed to equip, how to make an orc. We basically don't even do the skin color thing anymore, especially on this server where you can have green skin, which I think is just amazing. So, you're free to choose your own color for now and aim for that green skin later. And then kind of, hang out with them in Discord, answer questions they have, help train up their pugs, take them out with us, try to show them our tactics, how to, fight in a group versus just a 1v1 or 2v2.
Yeah, and Boulderfist, I know you guys have more of a focus on PvP. Do you expect an experience level in that area right away, or are you willing to take someone completely new to it?
Oh no, we're all horrible at PvP. Just because we focus on it doesn't make us good. So you can be bad, you can be the best PvPer we have. We've had a couple of members that were, not going to name them, but they were, some of the top 5, I'd say, PvPers on the servers that they played on. And they made orcs, and then we've had people who literally joined 2 weeks ago and don't know how to play Ultima. And we'll take everybody, we'll teach you. And basically our main thing is have fun with it. This is an alternate lifestyle. This is something that you can, get away from the real world and act out and be a greenskin moron. You don't have to be an elite PvPer.
Well put. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a really great PvPer, and that's always something that was kind of secondary for me in this whole situation. Is the RP first and the PvP second.
Yeah, you're playing an orc, so I think the RP is going to help get you in the mentality of wanting to get out there and clomp the humans, as you guys say. So it'll get you in the mood for the PvP, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you're going out there and ring mill and knock katanas and halberds. So
just because I'm not good doesn't mean I won't talk trash. So
yeah, that too.
Yeah, my favorite weapon is just a simple old club.
Yeah, plus it looks good. Do you guys wear the orc mask or the orc helms?
A couple of my characters have orc masks. The rest have orc helms. Always restocking those in the house.
That's one thing we miss is having like the spawnable orc masks and the orcish kin masks. At the moment, a lot of us would switch back and forth between the two depending on our role. Our mojos would wear the masks, obviously, and the helm would go to the warriors.
Hint,
yeah,
Owen.
Yeah. If Owen, if you're listening, I would really love to see those masks just be pulled off the Prevelius shop. Maybe not refunds, but if you want the community to grow, I think it's a good move. It's such a strong RP focus in the past. It's a bit weird to have it behind a paywall.
I don't mind the blessed ones, but they should be, at least the orc helms should be common loot.
Yeah, I think you can make them, can't you?
Yes, they're craftable now, thankfully.
Yeah, so you could technically, I guess, make them and keep your clan stock, but yeah, I don't know. You can't make the blessed deed not pull that off the Prevelian market. That would ruin the market. But
oh no, yeah, no, it's nice to have nice blessed things, and I like to make my mojo pretty too. So I don't mind blessed things, but it would be nice to have some of the orc masks, as loot.
All right, we got a bunch of community questions. Let's get into a couple of those. I think right off the top it is, outsiders, maybe even a couple insiders. They want to know why there's 3, which you guys kind of addressed a little bit. But is there any interest for you guys in merging as one horde and merging into one? And then that's from Bark Talk. He's the one who actually sent it to me. But I got it from a couple different places too. And I would add to that, if you're not willing at all to merge down the road, there's no pathway to that. Are you all working on joint events together?
Yes, always. We're always trying to do raids together. I know Nerul tries to organize a lot of raids for all orc kin to come and all evil people to come and raid a dungeon. But I think keeping 3 clans like this makes it manageable. It's very difficult to manage 100 orcs, with just one person. This way we're kind of like 3 states, but 1 country.
I like that analogy, actually.
Yeah, it did sound good. It blew whatever I had to say out of the water. Uh, fortunately, fortunately, the way the alliance system works is very favorable for us. We can hop on, we can be allied together and fight together, and hopefully we'll be able to do more events together. Right? In the past, we've always worked well together on different shards. Boulderfist, we've done a lot of stuff on Relpor with them. Most recently with Blood Rock, we've done a few events with them on Renaissance. Just in the past couple of years. So I look forward to that, and I look forward to us building our numbers and just coming out with a big horde. And just because you're not under the same name doesn't mean you're not an orc. So
Yeah, some unity speech there. I like it. Do y'all have any plans to work with the Outlands staff actually to maybe promote an event or get the rest of the Shard involved with it? This question is also from Barktalk.
I mean, us personally, we've I think we've had some of our leadership talk with Owen. I've talked with some of the leaders of the other role play clans to try and organize a few events, and I think that's something that that we'll really work towards and be able to bring a lot of stuff to the community here on Outland.
Yeah, we had an event that Owen helped us promote where Dralerga had a chest of shinies that the Umis were supposed to try to come and get. And
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was cool.
We needed to stain the floor with the blood of as many Umis as we could, and then our own. Took a while for them to break through. Eventually they made it all the way to the end, and one lucky person got the entire chest.
Yeah, I like that idea. That was definitely a unique way to do it. And I know Bloodrock has a couple events planned when the Stronghold is out. Have you all heard of the Orc Stronghold that Owen is crafting?
I've heard of the rumors of it. Haven't seen much information on it though yet. Very excited.
Yeah, I've seen some of the planning going into that. It looks really good.
And last question from Barktalk. Actually, maybe not the last question. He did send me a bunch. Do you have any plans to get involved with the rest of your RP community? So that would be, the U Militia, the Drow, Prevalia, Sir, anyone else I missed?
I've been in contact with some of the Viking folks, and U Militia. We've played against them and a lot in past shards. Sir, obviously they're the perfect. They're our perfect counter. So we will. I've spoken with their leader a little bit as well. So I think once we get our orcs trained up and everything, I think we'll be able to get out there and give good fights to the role play community and have a good time.
Yeah, I would love to do maybe even like a small secretive kind of event where we get some of the RP communities together for a big battle, take some videos, promote the shard that way, maybe get some 20 versus 20 battles.
Yeah, that might look cool. And you could probably even recruit Expo to record with his GM powers, and that might make a good shard happening type of video.
Absolutely, that sounds fun.
I have a question for Aya. This is from Nerul. He wants to know, why did Bloodclan choose a name so similar to Bloodrock Clan, besides wanting to confuse the shit out of everyone involved?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. Honestly, I can't speak to the founders. Here's what I do know about the founders. The two that were that were most credited for founding us were Shadow Clan orcs. And then we actually had two other clans, Storm Reavers, I believe, out of Atlantic. There were some of the original orcs in Bloodclan, and then like a good handful of Bloodrock orcs came onto IPY and made something together. At that time, I guess they chose the Bloodclan, and that's kind of where we've gone with it. It is confusing, we're both BC and everything, but that's okay. We still have our own little flavors, and we just make it work.
So I have an amusing question here from Zodbad. Do you like sheep and are willing to breed with them?
Well, the the U Orc Fort, where we were based out of for most of our time, there was a lot of sheep pens there and a lot of lonely orcs and not enough few orcs to go around. So if those guys partook, then hey, more power to them.
Oh God.
I'd say leave them for the U militia. They seem to like them.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Another from Zodbad, another funny one. If you're having a party and there is a plate of mashed potatoes, what would you do with it?
You got to check the temperature first. You can't make your next move until you know the temperature.
Yeah, are they warm potatoes or cold potatoes?
That's you can't do anything until you know the temp.
Yeah, I think my orc would probably throw it in the other orc's face. I don't know. It's not meat, right?
Feed it to the ostards.
Yeah, there you go. Do you all want to hang out at the Bloodrock Fort? And how should they react if this is what you do? So I guess I think that was from Zodbad as well. I'm not positive on that. I didn't write down the name, but I think he's curious if you were to come out and hang out with Bloodrock Clan, how would that go down? Would y'all fight in war?
I mean, we're down for anything. Honestly, we've played well with them for a long time. Usually orcs are very territorial, so I get where that question comes from. I believe anyway. Usually, we talk amongst each other and say, hey, hey, let's go defend your fort or do whatever. So usually there's some dialogue going on between leaders or other orcs in general. So just like the humans show up and we don't want to be unwelcome guests. So I think that would be where we go from there. So
and then I think probably our last question, unless I missed one in here. What are some of your own personal experiences playing as an orc? And then how long have each of you made that your play style? And is it all with the current clan you're in now, or have you kind of hopped around and checked out the ends too?
Like I said, I started off with Shadow Clan on Siege Perilous before hopping into the free server community. And from there, tried to seek out Shadow Clan and other orcs. And when we weren't able to find any, we decided to create our own guild. And I've been with Boulderfist ever since. It's been 12 years now.
I'm a little later to the game of being an orc. I started off with Bloodclan on Hybrid. I've actually had an orc in Boulderfist. I've had them in Bloodrock. I've had some in other clans, and like I said, we're orcs, so we all play together well, I think, for the most part, and I have no problems playing with any of these other guys. It's all good fun. As far as my personal experiences, I mean, it's all encompassing. Once you go green, you never go back. It's amazing. Okay, to just go and take human heads and just fight, and it's a lifestyle. It's great.
Yeah, I can't live in anything but orcish housing now. I need that third floor.
Yeah, I was looking at that today. What's the cheapest orc house? Is it the Palisades?
Yeah, 150K.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, well, I guess I need one of those. I can't have my orc living in a stone house, I guess.
Yeah, that's also why it took us, I guess all the clans, a little longer to get started, is the upfront cost. You need at least 150K for an orc house, and then 50K for a guild stone, a guild tag. So, versus other shards where it's like 30K for a house and 12K for a guild stone or whatever it was, and the gold there dropped a lot better.
I don't know how ridiculous a one-story palisade fort at 50K would look. Probably not appeasing to the eye, I would imagine. But
right now we're working on the 6 million gold big jungle gym, as we call it. It's the large palisade fortress.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's a big goal. Even I'm in Beard Brothers, and we have like a 2 million gold house, and doing the housing here is definitely a long-term goal, even guild wise.
Yeah, currently we live in the 2 million one.
Did we miss anything about your guys' history that we didn't cover?
Not that I can think of.
No, I think we covered a few things there.
All right. Do y'all have any final thoughts you want to impart to the humans of Outlands?
Just get involved. I mean, if you don't want to play an orc, make a human role play, have fun with us. If you want to play an orc, doesn't matter what clan, obviously anyone would love to have you, and let's just have a good time.
Yeah, and if you want to make your own role-playing guild, start one up. It's real easy. Grab a friend or even start by yourself and see who decides to join. Align with some other role-playing guilds and have fun with it. And if you have a chance, hang out with Hig. He's, I think, the funniest orc in the world.
Oh, yeah. Hig and his antics are a big part of Outland. Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Kil'gu and Aya, I think you guys provide a lot for the role-playing community here and Outlands as a whole. So thanks for coming on and talking to me. And I'd love to get you guys back on in the future. Maybe we do a role-playing roundtable of sorts eventually.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Go to our website, InsideOutlands.com. You can join our Discord there, get updates, listen live. You can leave us and our guest feedback. And special thanks to Nicaro. He's our brand new audio alchemist. He's kind of helping me in the background get these things out to you guys faster, sooner, better, more often. So see you guys next week.